Hello and welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. Your taxes, and we're going to review fraud after fraud. And this is global. I'm just going to be using that which is in England, that which is in United Kingdom, that which is in Britain. You have to, by my own presentation, decide which jurisdiction we're talking about. And you'll find this jurisdiction is actually global. And also, thanks to one of my subscribers that sent me this information, who I've not asked to share his name, but what I'm saying to you is that thank you very much, that student of mine that provides this information so I can share it with the rest of the world. I'm going to allow Charlotte to say hello and then hand it over to Hugh to say hello, and then we can get on with it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'm really looking forward to this discussion.
Hi, folks. This is Judge Hugh from Terra Australis. One of my favorite topics is this topic, tax. So having a financial background, that's in my corner. So hopefully you'll find something useful today with me and Judge and Chief Mark and Charlotte. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you. You know, when people come to us, our students, and say, Mark, you know, can we sue the IRS, the HMRC, whoever they are, in whichever country, to pay my taxes in the correct name and the correct language? And then we say to them, of course, you have to sue them to pay your taxes in the correct language and in the correct name. And the surprise always comes back, even though they know what it means. Is like, why don't they want to know about your taxes and your God-given right to pay your taxes as soon as you sue them for a correct language performance and a correct name performance? And on the back of that, you know, this entire planet that pays taxes to who? To find out to who, we sue people, whichever country, to find out exactly who we're paying taxes to. Full stop. I mean, that is as simple can be. Why do not people step up? Well, later this evening, sorry, I beg your pardon, why don't people step up in their millions and sue for the correct language and correct name performance? I don't know. But those people that come to us, they get it. What keeps you in bondage? Paying something to somebody or some organization you know nothing about. And the IRS, the MHMRC don't even give you a receipt for it. And then when you make your submission means to bow to somebody. What do? They say, thank you very much for your contribution. What? I thought it was mandatory, but you're now calling it a contribution. It's like none of it makes sense. So perhaps, you know, after this presentation that we've put together, which is simplicity itself, yeah, you guys will get it all over the world. And the job of Charlotte and Hugh is to question me, and I will question them, you know, essentially interrogate each other, so we don't miss out on any of the runs on a ladder, because we know these things inside out. And it's our tragic, you know, presumption and assumption that you two in webinar land, YouTube land, knows the same thing. So we'll be bouncing off each other. All right. So let's get to it.
Okay.
So what we're looking at here is the UK Shield, what they call the Royal Coat of Arms, the coat of arms. Okay, another word for a shield. Full stop. And we live in an English country. That's obvious. Americans live and speak an English language. the federal government, or be it the de facto federal government, language of operation is English. Every airplane pilot has to speak English. That's the language of the federal government. And yet, in Parliament, in United Kingdom, Great Britain, the preferred language on all of their paraphernalia is in French. What the hell? Does that mean if I have a shield in England that's written in Martian language, that I am actually being occupied by a Martian? If my shield in this country has the language of Japan in it, and Japan's paraphernalia, symbolisms, does that mean that I've got something to do with Japan and perhaps Japan owns this country? Why is this shield? I've got to ask the question. Why is an English shield got French writing on it? Why is the word mortgage, that is, I think there's 9 or 12 million mortgages in the UK out of a population of 65 million, which is like a huge number of percentage. Why is it's written in French? Why are they selling you so-called home loans written in goddamn French? And damned it is. What the hell is all that about? And we look at the words. Charlotte, can you help me out with these words, which seems to be in italics on Wikipedia? I wonder why that is. Help me out with the French here. I mean, you speak a wonderful French accent, don't you?
No, I don't speak French at all. I wouldn't even know how to pronounce that one. But I do know that if it's in italics, it's not there. It's not on the page. It's language fraud.
But it's on the shield.
It's on the shield, yes.
One of yous help me pronounce it, because I can't speak French.
Come on, you can have a go.
Duet Mondret.
What did you say to me?
Duet Mondret.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It appears that you've said in French, which I translated into English, God and my right. God and my right. And I revealed what God is, who God is, last Sunday, I believe, or last Monday, which is on my website. So we have definitely an old English French word, like mortgage, on the coat of arms, the royal coat of arms in the United Kingdom, used outside of Scotland. It says so, used outside of Scotland. So they haven't picked up the French word of debt pledge. And it's written quite literally in French. God and my right of way. God and my right of way. Well, thank you very much for that, Hugh. Certainly, I have the word of God. I proved that. And it's my right, which means I control the 4 corners of a document. I think the audience understands this, and that's why we have 100% success when we sue them for our God-given right to pay our taxes in the correct language, not French, in the correct language with the correct name. Do you think the audience have understood what I have said before I go on to the next slide? Because I do a lot of presumption and assumption sometimes.
So my question would be, why would that be on a shield in a different language that no one can understand? Unless you're French, of course.
Well, if a Martian sticks his shield on my forehead and gives me a stamp on my forearm, it's almost certain I'm the property of a Martian. If I go to Australia and fly my colors, which are standing behind me in Australia, what am I saying? You're now in my jurisdiction. This is my country. The language of my choice is what I choose it to be. whether that's in quantum or in English. So another question, might come up. Why does the New Yorkers have liberty from a statue that is French? Is it a partnership of the city of York in league maritime, in league with the French? Because the Statue of Liberty is French. And liberty is what a sailor gets to leave the ship, but still remains the custody of that ship and bondage to that ship or that vessel. And what does, what happened to the Liberty Bell? Anybody know what happened to the Liberty Bell?
Liberty Bell.
No.
It
No.
broke.
It broke. Okay.
And they have it erected. I think it's in Philadelphia. I've forgotten. And you can see the Liberty Bell is cracked, which means everything that you taught was a true bell. Bell means contract, agreement in fiction. It's broken, and it's always has been broken. On the back of the information that I'm revealing, and we're the only ones that are revealing this sort of information, this level of iconoclasm upon these shields, you can quite literally enter your parliament, the so-called parliament, and put these freaks under arrest on the back of what they're revealing to you, which I have to credit our students for showing, because he emailed us, or she, to say, here's the truth of it, Mark. And it's her or his work. And they haven't given us permission to use their name, so I'm not going to use it. And the coat of arms, the motto is said to be, have first been used by Richard in 11th century 57. That's how old it is. And presumed to be reference to his French ancestry. Indeed, he spoke French, and however you pronounce that word. Divine right of the monarch to govern. You buffoon, man. You think you can govern me? It is I that will end up governing you. You know that, because it's God and my right of way. Hugh, Charlotte, you reckon our audience have got to grasp with what I'm showing them?
Well, I mean, I understand myself. So you've explained it pretty well. It's another language, and I even notice on the shield itself, the blue part that goes right around has got words on it as well, but half of it is concealed. So if that even gives a bit of an idea that some things are concealed from us without us being able to know, they hide things. So yeah.
Thank you. I think we can actually move on to the next slide. And what does this show you? What it means. Do you not think the whole of Britain, England, United Kingdom is duty bound to look up these goddamn French words and realize mortgage, taxes, and the shield and the language are all written in French? It's a French corruption, allying itself with the city-states of New York and etc. From York City, the family of York. Your slave masters, ladies and gentlemen, are goddamn French, and damned they are. Yeah. God and my right, the motto of the British monarch. And sorry, beg your pardon?
I might have mispronounced that. It's actually pronounced as Duet Mondois. I
That sounds more
mispronounced.
French.
Yeah, Duet Mondois. Yeah.
Frog legs to you as well.
Yes.
That's the language. It's frog legs. Yeah. Look,
Dog legs.
look at it. Look at how they got.
Yeah.
Look at the Irish sitting there. Look at the three kings from biblical lands.
Mm.
And it's sitting upon a green field. And we haven't even deciphered what's in the language inside of this. Yeah. Can somebody say, the admin, can you decipher for us what language that's written in? Even though I've done this presentation before. Let's see what language that's written in. While they are doing that, let's carry on. The arms of dominion. How many families in the Americas, in Britain, United Kingdom, French, how many of them have their own shield? Why not? We have our own shield. We have our own flags. We have our own country, which David Wynne Miller created. I'm still calling him his middle name by the wrong pronunciation. Gosh, I must be French.
Fair enough.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to reveal to you next is enough information given to us by one of our students to help you shut down the United Kingdom government. I can do that, but I need yous to know that is what you need to do, because I can't go curing this and claiming to do this unless you feel it's of any benefit to you. Without your electoral power, I'm just doing it for myself, even though I have the ability to shut down the whole of the United Kingdom government. I have the ability to do that as a plenipotentiary judge, a chief federal postal court judge, a muster master, and the other qualifications which I hold as same as Hugh holds and Charlotte holds. Are you ready for what our student showed us? You reckon we're ready now to show them?
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Let's go.
This is what he showed us. Parliament, which you already know, parler. Yeah, parler, French word it is. Incredible, isn't it? Parliament, the word parliament is a French word, like mortgage, like the shield. It's a French word. It's like having the Senate call itself with a Chinese name. I mean, how in your face obvious can you possibly get? Parler means to talk in French. And the name is attached to mortgage, and the mortgage is attached to the taxes, and the taxes is attached to the shield, and the shield is attached to what they call Parliament. And what does Parliament do? It speaks. Fantastic in French.
Mm.
And what does MENT mean in French? Charlotte, come on, you're Australian. You have a good grasp of language in French, surely.
No, not French.
Mental.
Is
It's
lying.
lying. Yes.
French shields, French words, mortgage, French, Parliament, French, everything is French, is lying. They are quite literally talking, lying. They're talking lies. Every single MP is now on a level plane with us and the rest of the world. You have no parliamentary discretion, you pieces of dog shit stuck on mankind's shoe. You are, every single one of you is under the penalty of perjury. And every single man or woman in this country and any other country is going to pay their taxes in the correct name and in the correct language. Is lying. Quite literally, Parliament means speaks lies. Speaks lies. And that is what the judges, that is what the police, even though they're ignorant of it, but not anymore, because they're all under the penalty of perjury. And this information has to be shared with every single parliamentarian, every single one in the House of Commons, the Lord, Spiritual and Temple, every judicial officer, every single police station commander, and the entire rank must now be educated as to what Parliament means. The police in this country, as ignorant as they are and as lovely as they are in terms of their original reason for joining the police force to help mankind, it now knows they are protecting lies. The Army and the Navy, which are now under the penalty of perjury, is protecting the lies that is spoken by, quite literally in its words, speaking lies is what Parliament means. So the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the police all over the world, including the ones that ring fence Parliament, is doing its job to protect the lies that Parliament says. And every single sailor, soldier, Air Force officer, pilot, etc., every single police officer takes an oath to protect Parliament, not the people. This includes Australia, Parliament. Do you guys have a Parliament in Australia?
Oh, yes.
So you must be a French colony.
Must be.
Yeah. So every single parliament on this planet that runs with the word parliament is a French colony. And every single police officer, every single military is in place to protect the lie. The lie. Listen, this is the age of the Titans, not the gods, which I have revealed. They have bank accounts. Your God that you have been worshiping has a goddamn bank account. And damned it's going to be. Every single person, man, woman, corporation, cooperative is all under the penalty of perjury to know and to share this information with every single people, to download this video and make it your own and upload it. Parliament in Australia, in this country, and everywhere else where they have a similar name and a similar structure, the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the police are all there to protect the lies that are told by Parliament, and every constable is participating in the lie. This in itself makes Parliament disqualified. I will be producing papers to now dissolve Parliament because it's a teller of lies. That is how powerful we are, because our word is our bond. And I have created a bond with Parliament, teller of lies, and I've created a bond with every military officer in whichever jurisdiction, with the lords and the spirituals, with the bishops and the archbishops, the popes all around the world, including the Black Pope, because remember, your ability to stay in the private is that you must do no harm, even though it's expressed in its negative condition. It is a privilege, it is an honor to live in the private and not be subject to these lies. But since you have told lies, you Black Pope, you Yellow Pope, and all of you other half-witted popes, you're now in my jurisdiction. And watch me teach people how to pay their taxes in their millions. I think I've made it very clear what my intention is, including in Australia, including the family courts. I'm going to shut you down on the back of the fact that I'm a plenipotentiary judge and I have revealed that you're a liar, and a liar can hold no office, can have no protection. And those paperworks are going to go to the four corners of this planet, four corners, including Trafalgar Square, which is a four-corner rule. I'm going to get rid of this now. No, let's keep this. Let's keep this. Yeah, and you guys, Hugh and Charlotte, help me speak more about this so I can get more of that adjectives out, as it were, because so many people are interested in pronouns and adjectives and stuff. I doubt myself if I've got the message across clearly that I have just told the entire planet on the back of our student, as Charlotte and Hugh as being my witness, and presumably the millions of people that are listening to this now, we have proven through our honorable student that every military, every police officer is all there to protect the lies told by the Australian Parliament, the United Kingdom Parliament, and every other parliament on the planet. This is how you take jurisdiction. This is how a plenipotentiary judge becomes the most powerful man on this planet, by just simply being iconoclastic and thanking people for bringing this type of information. Do you know the shockwave that's now going to go into these places? The shockwave that's going to go into the judiciary that think that they can steal children's babies and etc., harvest their organs and sell these babies. You think you goddamn pieces of shit is going to get away with this? This is my world. This is my planet. This is my earth, and my job is to keep it safe. And you parasites are going to get flushed down. Flushed. I think I have said enough, as much as I can, without actually losing my temper. Because one has to keep temperance, mustn't they? I hand it to you folks, both of yous, and I'm just going to zip it now and listen to you folks.
Well, Mark, the coat of arms that we were discussing before, there's a link that you can open up for that one now. It's just in the chat there, but it actually explains what that other phrase means inside of the coat of arms that is a bit concealed. And it is translated as shame to be whoever thinks ill of it, or shame on anyone who thinks evil of it, which is also rather telling.
So I will paraphrase that for our students. What they basically said is that we curse the man or a woman. They don't have any power over me because I'm not a person. This is not an actor. They are saying that anybody that discovers our lies is cursed, because they're saying that I've done evil upon exposing their lies. Listen to me, you pieces of parliamentary dog feces stuck on mankind's shoe. Do I look cursed? I'm brimming with health. It is you that is cursed. It is you that is being caught out telling lies and claiming parliamentary discretion. Every single man and woman that has any faith, whether it's a Christian, whether it's a Muslim, whether it's a Hindu or a Bindu, and all of these words that you use, have it within yourself to be more than just a religion. Have it within yourself to sack these freaks from your world that have been telling lies, perpetrated also through your faith, so-called religious ministers and your religious leaders. They all live off of this dog feces. They have put a curse on themselves, and they try to reverse that in your subconscious mind, in your spirit domain, in your higher functionings of the planet, to inform your spirit that if you ever reveal this knowledge that we are just a bunch of liars, then we will curse you. Because your spirit can read French. It can just about read every language that there is. Your remarkable ability to navigate into the in and out of the world of fiction tells you that you have a remarkable brain capacity to actually live as you have so far in your life, living inside of this nightmare scenario that was created by this French toilet bowl. I invite, and I'm not bringing in Charlotte or Hugh with this, I invite every man and woman to defecate upon their parliament as some sort of a gift of fertilization, so the earth can make use of those disgusting buildings. What I have said will echo through the world, and they're about to receive paperwork to sack every single parliament throughout the planet. I keep talking too much. I need to hand it over to you guys.
Just looking at the honey site Kwamau pens on the coat of arms. Some of the words are actually hidden.
Mm.
So you have to figure it out what's after honey.
Insofar as it's given us the shield, which is the garter, beg your pardon. It's Wikipedia, and it's telling us what's actually written, and it's partly hidden.
Partly hidden, yeah.
You know, see, you know, like those judges that wear the canopy on top of their head. They used to wear it on their head. Do you know why they do that? Do you know why religious people put those things on their head? Wear the anika or kinika or whatever you call it. It's so God cannot see their wicked thoughts. Do you know why Catholic people wear the hoodie thing? Do you know why Muslim people? So God cannot see their wicked thoughts. They must obviously think God is blind and deaf and dumb, that somehow he can't see through paperwork and pieces of cloth. This is the level of sophistication that they brought into this religious bullshit. That's why religion does nothing. But men and women of faith, they change the entire world.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm just talking about the tax laws that Parliament issues and putting a bill through. If Parliament means speak lies, then the bills that they put through and those that sanctioned by them, and the lawyers that they hire to draft these bills and legislation, would it be fair to say that they're also lies covered in some sort of officialdom?
Yes, they are what's known as licensed, and license means without which you would be breaking the law. If you don't have a license to lie, cheat, then you'll be breaking the law. That's why they have to have a license. Otherwise, they'll be executed for having lying and cheating. So the license protects them for telling lies. And that's what the Supreme Court, the lower courts, the county courts, the coroners all rely upon. You see,
The license, the lie, yeah.
Mm.
And hide behind titles, which opens that contract for that license to lie. Mm-hmm.
So it's a somber moment for me to realize that I've been gifted with so many things, and that, you know, I've been gifted with Charlotte, with Hugh, with Alex, the task force, the 101,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. You know, getting this type of information, being able to make use of my pen. This is Charlotte's birthday present to me, which I got. Thank you very much. You know, being able to bring all these things together to make history in this Corona period. I feel very humbled, you know. that so many of our students actually know so much more than what we do, and they bring this type of knowledge to us. You know, I salute you.
Well done. Well done.
So just on the back of what, you know, what we can do, we can change the world. We can shut down the family courts, hold them to trial, and hang them by the neck. And not only that, I'm going to use the Army, Navy, Air Force, and the existing constabulary to do it in Australia, in this country, as well as in every country in the world. Does India have a parliament? Does India have a parliament?
I think.
Check it up. Let me check it on the phone. Which means that we have control over the Indian parliament as well. On the theater of commerce and in the theater of war.
What about the communist country?
Don't know. I don't know any communist countries. I know a lot of countries pretending to be communal, but they offer no communal or any communication or anything. Let's have a look, shall we?
They may conduct themselves as communal and communism, but they behave like capitalists.
How many countries in the world have parliaments?
All 193 national parliaments believe that they are a unique expression of national identity. They all meet in one of these 5 settings.
Wow.
Although all 193 national parliaments believe that they are a unique expression of national identity, they all meet in one of these 5 settings. Most of these typologies, typology as in typing, were invented in the 19th century and have hardly changed since.
Wow, listen to that.
93 countries is the level of jurisdiction that the Federal Postal Court judges have. And they have not changed the mannerisms of their lives for over 100 years, which is now going to get them hung. By their own words, they are sacked. Listen very carefully what I'm about to tell you. A piece of donkey shit, sorry about my French, that's a French word, donkey shit, called Sigmund Freud, was invented to give you and to make you buy what is known as an ID. An ID means an id, an alternative you. How the hell can it be an alternative me? And on the back of that ID, they got you selling and buying IDs, driving licenses, passports. Show me your ID. Well, I don't have an id. What you see is what you get. No, show me your id. Don't show me yourself, but show me your id, your false self. Show me your pronoun. Show me your adjective. So you may participate in the telling of lies. No Christian can be a Christian to live with this. No Christian, no Jew, no Muslim can live with this, what we have shared. And we have leveled the playing field through our student, 3 of us coming together to strike these dog feces out of our world and to treat them as the shit that they are. And I'm speaking in official capacity as a plenipotentiary judge. I find no better word than shit to describe them. I hope that the audience have understood where we get our power from. because a liar lies because he knows the truth. That's why he lies. He knows the facts. That's why they lie. No man can have a mortgage. No man, as best as he tries, can ever pay taxes to a lie. You are participating in the lie. And the Indian government and all 193 countries in the world have been served notice by this broadcast. You are now under the penalty of perjury, and the Navy, the Army, the Air Force will no longer protect your life, including police officers, constabulary, or anything that wears any uniform. The Supreme Court is now decloaked. Every judge is decloaked, and the cap that he wears on the top of his head, whether it's a canopy a few meters from his head or the wig that he wears, is now off. God can see your wicked thoughts, and judgment is now being passed. Full stop.
Well, there's something that I would like to sort of emphasize for the audience. Like Mark has just revealed through a subscriber, like what parliament means. And parliament means speak lies. So if we have a parliament in each of our countries where you have the government looking after your health, your transport, your education, and your social services, what do you think is truly having control over those parts of your life? Full of lies. It's
Your
all
doctors
full
are
of
lying
lies.
to you. Your Surgeon General is lying to you. Your police officers are lying to you. The judges are lying to you. The politicians are lying to you. They're all lying. We've been given this type of knowledge so we can safeguard the planet. Yeah. And I do not believe these things are coincidences. Certainly, I'm not clever. I'm not a clever man, but I am tenacious. And people have faith in what we do.
It's very interesting once we cipher out these words and what the root meanings of it are. It's basically hidden in plain sight. Perpetrating these lies, with people's assumptions and presumption that they're some sort of officialdom and representing the people in their local, government. But they keep issuing these IDs, as in idiot, to make you participate in these lies. I mean, they're all a simulation of the real man and the woman. So I know this. I know these things are happening, but I just can never get used to your statements, Mark. When they keep forcing you to live a lie, it's hard. Your subconscious self knows that it's not to be, but you keep coercing and even blackmailing to be participating there, and then you get penalized.
Yeah,
through that. Incredible.
Hugh, I want to share something with you and with Charlotte. You two are the only ones that do what you do in the whole of Australia. Yeah. And the people that have come to us, I only consider them men and women. And I consider you men, a man, and you as a woman. And our clients and our students as men and women. The rest, I don't know what they are. Perhaps we do. They're called ids. Walking, talking pronouns. What does pronoun means? No, no, no. 3 no's and you're out. These doctors that have been performing those surgeries on the back of lies, This is a hanging sentence. Mutilation of children, mutilation of minors is a hanging sentence. Here we have an MP calling itself Stephen Timms. You are now under the penalty of perjury. You now work for me. You are my now servant. Watch what I'm going to do using you. Should we prepare ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, the Federal Postal Court, as well as just us in the language of congruence, to prepare to shut down the 193 countries in the world so something better will evolve naturally? There is nothing like uniqueness. There is nothing like men and women that are answerable to themselves. Yeah. It is said when you replace something, you better have something in place. You cannot replace a lie.
Yes.
The facts
Correct.
is what allows us to navigate. You require no governance because the governance are liars. Every Surgeon General on this planet, while all 193 of them, you're now in my custody, and you are now my servants, and you're my agents, and you will do my will and the will of men and women. So those people that think they want to pay taxes, they come to us with the mortgages or whatever it is, and you see the power that we have. Because once you catch out a liar lying, they lose all credibility. The creators of the mortgages, debt pledges. Debt is what they want, and debt is what we have to give them. Since they have not asked for forgiveness, we don't know what they're asking for. And we cannot forgive people that simply do not ask us forgiveness or what that is. What is it that they're asking us to forgive? You have to confess your sin in order to forgive. And if these things are so bad, then unfortunately it comes under barbarism. And that carries a capital punishment. It's a massive project, one that I have the capacity and the will to execute within weeks, not months, within weeks. Thank you.
Okay.
I definitely am going to be quiet and give you guys a chance to say what you need to say.
Now I'm just absorbing the these words and what their root meaning are to kind of comprehend the depth of that wickedness and their twisted minds. You know how they think that people are a joke. You know, they think, oh, you guys are just too blind to see what we're doing. But no, that's not true. You know, obviously those have found this, you know, the students and others have seen through these lies, and perhaps others have already done so before that, but they haven't come forward. So I think that the you know, the strength and the courage and the intelligence of man and woman are there, and it's such a refreshing thing to know that you know, we have a platform to tell this and to strike them out once they know. Once everyone knows about the truth and the correctness, then, you know, there is no more hiding. You know, the light has been shined onto a dark place.
That's right. That's exactly right. I was just going to say, like, the importance of shining light into the darkness of all of these things is really a crucial thing. And for people to really grasp, like, the ID aspect, I think is also really crucial, because a lot of the time people just go, well, what's the point? What's the point of, you know, worrying too much about your license or your passport? Like, what's the point of that? But in reality, it's just a mechanism for you not to be you. And so when you live a lie as something else, you will pay the price for that lie if you don't do as they tell you to do. So I think cut the strings. That's how I feel.
There are curses to living a lie. So
Yeah, that's right.
This is our greatest tool, to shine light on something. I mean, look at it blazing away. It removes all shadows, so you can see every corner of everything. It's our greatest tool. And when it spins around like this, it's a beacon of light, a lighthouse, to make sure that vessels moving from one point to another, and we are all vessels. You know, in conventional language, they call it, what do they call it? Vassal. In conventional language, it's called a vassal. And the sign that you have of the fish means that they're going out fishing. That's why the Christians have the sign of that. It's an equestrian sign to say we're out fishing. And I hold a boat captain's license, so I have to study these things. This is our greatest tool. And when we get to work, we use one of these things, which costs around about 25 pence. We use one of these things, which is blue in color. And we use our greatest of all seals, our uniqueness, which is our thumbprint. And I have my own method of communicating with the Army, Navy, and the rest of them, so they know it's from me. And those letters are unique to me. So they know when I talk to them that it's me that they're talking to and not some sort of fraudster. You know? So,
yeah,
you know, in the short period that you have known me, how many people have tried to steal what I know? But they're just thieves. It's like a turkey that runs away with your sausage roll. It's still a bloody turkey, you know. And people trying to steal David Wayne Miller's works by selling his books just because he's passed away. They think they can move off the radar with me. I've made a pledge, you know, the pledge is that they will go to prison. You know, before I was giving them warnings, but no, you will see when you try to steal a man that gave us so much. Yeah, it becomes intolerable for me, just as Parliament becomes intolerable. 193 countries in the world have a parliamentary system, and a parliamentary system means teller of lies, talker of lies, speaker of lies.
that covers more than 90% or more of the globe, of the planet, of known civilization, you know, developing and developed world, you know, is including the islands as well. They've got parliaments in them. So it'd be interesting to see that list, Mark, you know, 193 national.
Every single 193 country in the world will have documents being sent out by me, not by registered mail, but by DHL, because no mail is flowing through Britain, Europe, Canada, and a few other countries. They're all being held in transit and have been for 6 weeks. You know.
Yeah, including New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand doesn't have a post office, but it does have a postal.
Exactly. That's why I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Some of the people were asking.
That system is perfectly fine, you know.
Yeah.
So I myself have got a massive project ahead now to usher in this planet safely, to put the family courts in prison. They can't claim, you know, maritime jurisdiction on this, because once you become a hazardous vessel, I will command all other vessels to remove them from the lands, oceans, whether it's in the sky, ocean, or on land. In land, they're known as in dry dock. in the air, they're known as aeroplanes, which is all run by nautical miles. Nautical means maritime. And of course, every vessel moving on water is still in maritime. So their status as being a god king, as a captain, is removed because they're flying the flags of lies. And I am now going to be put in a position where I'm going to ask I'm going to tell command the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force to open fire on these people and remove the judges, have them executed, hung, whatever it is, because we have their paperwork and we have their trail of evidence. And if they're hiding in the private, the rule of living in the private is that you do no harm to others.
Yep.
And since they have been using that as a privateer, I'm now going to be telling the Army and Navy and the Air Force to take them out. There is not going to be any forgiveness because these are barbarisms. So for the people that have been running from the court system because they're putting the children with pedophiles, with mass murderers, with rapists, because they're saying that these people also have the right to adopt and rear children. They've made that very clear. As horrendous as it is to hear, that is already in the public domain.
Yeah.
And I'm telling those judges, I'm coming for you and I'm going to hang you. Okay? Remember the words. He who judges will be judged, and I will be judged, and I'm happy to do that. But you pieces of shit, you are going to lose your life on this because you have no business being on our planet, our earth, in our contracts or anything like that. I promise you this. This is my oath. This is my bond. And everybody knows what a bond is that attended that Monday's webinar. The task force is truly up and running. Yeah. There's going to be a change like you have never seen.
Wow. Well said, Mark. Very confident, very confident about this movement. And a lot of people are behind this and supporting this. So this is very much a community spirit, in the men and women, none of these sort of fiction people in here, all that driving energy. Our prayers are powerful, and the volition of all these men and women. So I'm really congratulating those that have supported this task force, and also you, Mark, for spearheading this. Speaking as a planetary judge. So I really enjoyed today. Thank you for those that have shared this knowledge. And I hope the audience have also, gained largely from this and given them the bit of confidence in, taking matters to themselves. Set your house in order. These things must be set in order. Okay. So that's just my encouragement today. Over to you, Charlotte or Mark. Final words before we leave.
Well, my final words are just remember who you're paying taxes to. Are you okay with paying taxes to liars, to cheaters, to abusers? Because that's what they are. They're all of those things. Are you okay with paying taxes to them? I'm not. So
I'm not.
It's a choice. Yeah, it's a choice that you've got to make to get your life in your, it's just like Judge Yu says, get your house in order.
Yep. But the only thing they can say to tell you is that thank you for your contribution. That's all you're going to get. That's your reward, all right, for paying taxes. Goodbye for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Record